I was 12 and a half when the voices started, and 13 when I began following the instructions they whispered into my head. And soon they had a name, a face, and a story of their own. Revenge is what they wanted, to damn the wrong to a long, terrifying, and slow death. So I helped them kill a few people. I cut out a person's eyes and stitched their lips together. So I hung someone from a tree in the neighbor's yard like an ornament, their organs exposed from the neck down. What was the big deal? If I had told anyone, they would think I was crazy. Funny how that turned out, because I didn't even have to say anything for that to happen. Apparently my situation was transparent the moment I began to act out. It's the voices. I'm not insane. I'm just looking for a way to make the pain and anger of being neglected to go away. I just need one person that understands me. Sarah does. So, with certain instructions from both Mom and Dad, I was on my way to see a therapist, thanks to the family doctor who noticed something that no one else did. Don't you say anything, Rachel? Mom turned in the front seat with her soothing voice and kind eyes. The waterworks hour. Dad's eyes glared at me through the rearview mirror. He didn't care either way. I just stared at him beneath my brow. Inside my head, I was strangling him with his own belt. The car was swerving and Mom was screaming until I fell unconscious, when her head hit the top of the car as it revved off the bridge. Yeah, okay, I thought. I won't tell him about the night you were drunk off your ass and came at me, fist fighting me like I was a grown woman. I was 6, Mom. 6. Or the time I almost drowned because you were too busy getting high with your friends to even notice that I'd fallen into the pool, 5 feet deep. And I can't forget. No, I can't forget the time a baseball bat was slammed against my head so hard that I woke up hours later with a head injury. Fell down the stairs. Really? What the hell is it going to take for this state to notice something isn't right? How long? When it's too late and I'm dead? In the tiny office, sitting on a long circle couch, I stared blankly at the therapist, watching him adjust his reading glasses and asking me questions. I didn't speak. I didn't move. I didn't do anything, but just watched the pencil in his hand move across his notebook. I often wonder, though, if the words abused or neglected came up anywhere on that paper. But after about 30 minutes into the staring contest, he let me go. I scared him is what it was. He feared me, and soon both my parents did as well. I no longer got the belt, the back of the hand, a fist, or the ball bat. I was ignored. I was completely and utterly ignored. After about a month of my parents' bullshit and a therapist that I didn't want, they decided it would be in my best interest to lock me away in that disgusting, cold cell block 8 of the mental ward. The insane asylum is what we call it. They think shoving medication for schizophrenia, depression, anxiety, and everything else that they can think of down my throat would help me. It would take away the voices and the urge to kill. They think binding me to this hard bed will keep me from hurting myself or getting to them. But it won't. Because we've already figured a way out of the locks and chains. Haven't we, Sarah? 2 months in gave me enough time to learn things. To see without light, to feel without touch, hear without sound. I could smell the guards down at the end of the hall, smell the outside air, and hear the birds and people chattering. And most of all, I can smell the unique scent of Kara. down the hall as she makes her stops to every room on the floor. She wears a doctor's coat and carries a tray full of tiny cups. If my calculations are right, and they always are, she'll be here in 6 minutes. I look down to the darkness where the chains lay on the edge of the bed, and without even touching them, they close around my wrist. I can feel the cold metal around my ankles, tightening just enough to hear the click. The scent of jasmine gets closer. Her heels tap against the floor. A buzzer goes off and the overhead lights blink above me. She is standing behind the cell with a tray in her hand and a friendly smile on her face. I stay calm, alert, and ready. I act the part of the addict that just needs the medicine, and I jerk on the bed, my eyes staring into the tiny cups of medication that makes me higher than a kite on a windy day. It enhances the newfound powers in my head. The cell door opens, and she steps inside. The guards on each side watch with loaded weapons. Loaded weapons. Fucking insulting. She stands above me. Her emerald eyes give me a once-over look with any kind of trick I may have thought of while she was away. Her long red hair covers most of her heart-shaped face, flowing down the bottom of her breasts. She smiles. Jay, I see you're doing better today. Yeah, can I have my meds? I stuttered. The bitch doesn't even know what's about to happen to her. Of course you can, she tells me, but she sets the tray down on the sink behind her and takes a seat on the edge of my bed. My eyes keep looking at the tray, keep distracting her from the truth. I really want to know how you're feeling. How I'm feeling? Seriously? What the hell does she care? Like it's going to get me out of here? No fucking way. Not even with a damn please. I just want my meds, please, I muttered out. I could barely contain the energy that runs through my body. She turns around and grabs the tray. As she stands up, I see the needle through the fabric of her doctor's coat, just as I had seen it when she was walking up. I look to the guards and then back to her. Now we really have a plan. Before her hands even left the cup full of pills, I looked at the guards. My eyes twitched and then turned to darkness. I smiled. The guards turned to each other and pulled the trigger. Their bodies hit the ground, blood filling the stone floor. And I was out of the chains and standing before Miss Prissy, even knew what was happening. Of course she was jumping. She threw herself back in fright, but the tray never left the air. Her eyes widened, her body stiffened, and her mouth opens at what she sees. She had not prepared for this. It was not in her training. What do you do to someone with so much power? Nothing can be done. I grab her neck and force her onto the cold, hard bed. The chains and locks wrap around her wrist, stomach, and feet, and I stand above her, smiling. I inject her with whatever was in the needle right into the side of her neck. She cries, but I don't care. The voices praise me in my head, telling me our plans are unfolding nicely, and we're about to be free. Just one more thing before I go. I retrieve the keys to every lock in the place from her pants pocket. Then I grab the cups from the tray. I spread the pile of pills on my hand. There has to be at least 15 in each cup. I open them one by one and force feed the chalky powder into her mouth. She fights back, of course, but the voices have pinned her down and her mouth pried open. Foam rises to the corners of her mouth. Her body goes into convulsions, shaking like I've never seen before. Blood seeps out of the corners of her eyes, and just as the last pill empties itself inside her, she stops responding. Let's 3 down. Now I'm going to make this even more interesting and find Mom and Dad. I'm going to make sure that everyone pays for what they have done. Outside the cells and at the end of the hallway was the exit, but on my way through, a reflection caught my attention and forced me to stop. The person staring back at me was not me. I was turning into Sarah, and I loved it.